Well, you're more prepared than I am.
All right, let's do this thing.
All right, man.
All right, mesdames et messieurs, ladies and gentlemen, a good friend of mine, Mr.
Steve Parkinson.
Steve Parkinson. Definitely by far one of the best songwriter I know, and today he honors us in my girlfriend's closet. Literally. So thanks for being here.
Pleasure.
So I have a whole bunch of questions for you today. Some that might even blow your mind.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
It's not what I came here for.
No? Cigarettes and beer, maybe? So first question for you, sir.
Yes.
When and why did you start playing?
I guess music's always just kind of been around. I grew up with these two shitty scratched Beatles records that my dad had, and I don't know, just from a really young age, I was just obsessed with it. So I picked up the guitar pretty early, and just kind of obsessed with it. I didn't really know what went into a song or how it was put together, but I thought that's what you're supposed to do. So I mean, from the moment I picked up guitar, I thought, yeah, writing songs was what you're supposed to do with it. So I mean, probably from like the age of 13 or something, I was already determined to at least do something with music anyway.
So which instrument do you actually play?
I guess I play guitar okay. I'm a good singer, but I'm
modest bastard.
No, I'm a satisfactory guitar player from the way I look at it. But I think I'm a better singer than I'm a guitar player. That's
fair enough. How about this? Why doesn't McDonald's sell hot dogs?
Why doesn't McDonald's sell hot dogs? Right? That's what. Yeah, they're just handing it over to Harvey's on that one, just giving them free range.
Do you have a theory or anything? You just think they wasn't a market for them?
I have no idea. I mean, it's not as though they haven't thought about it, surely, because they tried pizza, for Christ's sake. So
You're
I
right.
mean, there's got to be something. I think there's probably some legal thing where they're literally not allowed to do it.
Interesting. Some legal thing. There you go. You heard it from Steve Parkinson. Folks.
Yeah, you absolutely look into it. There's something there.
How about this? At the movie theater, which armrest is yours? Left or right?
You know what? I'm really into the edges, so I feel like sharing is allowed.
So both.
Yes, I take both. I take both.
Oh, you
but
agree.
but not all. But not all of the armrest. There's plenty left.
You slither.
There's plenty left.
How did you come up with your band name? Or you've been in multiple names, but
Yeah.
give us the history of your band names.
Oh, of all of them.
Or your favorite one, or your...
All right. Well, I mean, my current band, the Stony Lonesome, was actually handed to me by our friend Adam Thompson. He was watching.
Really?
Yes, he was watching SpongeBob SquarePants, and that crab character. The name has escaped me, but the crab.
I think it's
just-
Sebastian the Crab, I think, or something like that. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Well, anyway, yeah. Apparently, he was referring to prison as the Stony Lonesome, and Adam thought that needed to be the name of my country band.
So is that what you consider yourself in that band? Country, folk? Folk rock?
I've always considered it country, but it makes it complicated when trying to explain to people what I do. Because I mean, country is a loaded term, right? You know, and when you say you're playing country music, there are a lot of boots and pickup trucks that come into mind, and we don't really fall into that. So I don't know. It's country music, but you know, it certainly doesn't sound like country radio these days.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Can you just swivel a little bit more that way? Yeah, just so the camera there.
Oh yeah,
There you go. Obviously, I'll have to edit that out. But next question: do they have the word dictionary in the dictionary?
They must. It's clearly a word. It's clearly a word. I don't know, you know, depending on the dictionary. Webster's might have it spelled wrong. I don't know. But
Do vegetarian eat animal crackers?
well, I can't say for a fact, but if I were a vegetarian, I would have no problem with it.
No.
I mean, no, man, they're free game.
What was the very first song you really cared to learn on your instrument? Whether it was your strings or your or your voice.
Okay.
Or both.
Yeah. I think the first song that I could actually play through all the way was Eleanor Rigby. It was when I was just, you know, still learning guitar chords and so on and singing along with that. It was only 2 chords and easy chords to change between. It made me sound a lot better than I actually was at the time. Yeah. So I would show off with that, but it's super easy. Yeah.
Now's probably a good time to pick on Irvin Russell. Irvin Russell's answer was Frère Jacques on the electric, but acoustically in the classroom. It's funny how people have a lot of trepidation answering this question, but you're like right in there. Bam! Well done.
Hey, man.
Well done.
I remember.
Do you think there's a time limit on fortune cookies?
A limit on the amount of time it takes to eat one, or
not the consumption, but the prediction.
Oh,
how long is it good for?
Well, yeah, it's kind of a murky area. I mean, you know, you know what? I'm gonna say, you know, just based on kind of the quality of the source there, I don't think you can really expect, you know, too tight a timeline on that.
Is your family musically inclined?
Well, I guess you know, church choir was, you know, my parents, and actually my dad, he sings.
Yes, he does.
He grew up, or well, didn't grow up, but I grew up with my dad always singing barbershop quartet music, which sounded really normal to me at the time, but looking back, seems hysterical. So
it's awesome though. Like it's.
Yeah, no, it was barbershop quartet singing was just always around, and we spent all of our summers at this place called Harmony Ranch, which is a campground where you actually have to be a member of the barbershop society.
Whoa.
To be in this or be a member of this campground.
Whoa.
So every summer, man, we spent that whole time just around other kids whose parents were also barbershop singers. It's, again, one of those things that seemed totally normal at the time.
Does that place still exist, do you think?
Oh, yeah, it's still going. My parents still go there, spend most of their summer there. Yeah. Harmony Ranch in Baldwin, Ontario.
Man.
Barbershop singers only.
My filmmaking over there. Is it only invites there? Can the public go see shows and whatever there?
Oh yeah, anyone can visit, but it has to be by invitation unless there's some event going on. But
Very cool. If a vampire can see the reflection in a mirror, why is their hair always so neat?
I guess if I were to guess, when vampires, typically can't, get hurt unless that, a specific spike through the heart or, the very vampire-y type things, right?
Right.
I expect hair is exactly like that. Their hair can't get messed up. So the last time they combed it when they became a vampire, that's just their hair forever.
Okay. I'll take that. Since bread is square, why isn't there any square meat? Why is it all round?
I feel like we're coming into that Nigel Tufnell gag where he was trying to fold the meat into that tiny square sandwich. That's just lack of foresight,
Lack of foresight.
I don't know, man. It's like the bread people and the meat people just never saw eye to eye, and they will never concede to each other.
So they need to have a meeting.
They have to find they have to mend fences, let's say. That's
Fair enough. Which famous artist do you admire and why? For which abilities, or why do you like that person or band? Or
famous artist.
could be singular, plural.
Okay. I think Elvis Costello is always a guy that just really knocked me out. Just because he can do it all. Like, he kind of came up in that kind of, I guess it was still punk when he put out My Aim Is True. And then it was never really, anyway, to get to it. But I mean, he's made country records. He's made, albums with Burt Bacharach.
Forgot about that.
Oh, yeah. That's a great record.
Yeah.
He just really will do whatever the hell he wants to do. And it always seems to work for him. Like, like Neil Young, I love him to death. And, have, it influenced me a great deal. But he's another guy who tries a lot of different things, and he fails almost half of the time. But Elvis Costello, there's always something there it's almost always worthwhile. Actually, you know what? Maybe I'm going to change my answer. I prefer Neil Young because he does blow it most of the time.
So he has the guts to try something new.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Can you cry underwater?
Well, I can't.
No?
Well, you know what? I've never tried. I can't imagine. The crying does involve some level of breathing, and if you could, it wouldn't last very long.
Can you tell us about one of your fondest musical memories?
Fondest musical memories. Well, you know what? I think probably it was pretty recently. You were there. It was our last CD release party.
Yes.
It was just such a sweet room. It was just the band was really, hitting all cylinders. It sounded great, and we recognized that it was sounding great. The audience was actually listening, and it's just one of those nights where you know that you're holding the attention of everyone in the room, and that doesn't happen too often. That was great. I loved that.
Very cool. Wow. And I was there.
Yes, you were.
So, I might know the answer to this, but were you influenced by old records, tapes, CDs, digital format? Which one, or all of the above?
I guess all of them. I mean, there was a point in my life where each one of those things was pretty much exclusively where I got music from. So I mean, in the early development, yeah, of course it was records and then tapes. But as got into high school, I mean, at CDs was where I, learned what the Grateful Dead sounded like and all that sort of thing. But I guess it just each format ushered in a new era for me. It's funny because I guess I always associate the different types of music from those different times as always existing on the format that I heard it on. Culture Club will always be a cassette tape for me. That's.
Do you still get nervous before a performance?
No, I don't think I ever really did. I don't know why. In high school, we would do I would be involved in the musicals and plays and that sort of thing, and I got deathly nervous for that sort of thing, but I never got nervous for a gig. I don't know what to do. I guess the difference is if you blow a line in a play or something, then that's hard to come back from. If you blow a line in a song at a gig, it doesn't matter. In 2 seconds it's over and you've moved on already.
And that's a nice segue into my next question, actually, is how do you handle mistakes during a performance?
I don't know, man. If it's obvious, I'm probably gonna laugh. If it's a little one, I probably won't even acknowledge that it happened. It's it's old scrappy rock and roll, which is kind of what I had done for years. It's supposed to have mistakes in it. It's
adds character.
Yeah. I guess that's just always how I saw it. If it's too perfect, then it lacks something.
You know what? That's a great outlook to have. Yeah. Whoops. All right, that's a tough one.
Oh.
Why don't you ever see baby pigeons?
Why don't you ever see baby pigeons?
Did I just blow your mind or what?
That's a tough one, man.
Yeah.
I guess it's because pigeons are just responsible parents, man. They live on the street and they don't need their kids just wandering the streets at all hours.
They have street smarts.
Yeah, you know what? So I mean, if I was a pigeon, I'd probably keep them off the streets. That's the way I see it. No, I have no idea.
Okay, fair enough.
Unless there are no baby pigeons and they literally just are not born or die. And
maybe they're cloned.
The pigeons we're seeing now are the same pigeons there have always been.
I smell an Illuminati coming thing. What advice would you give to a beginner that's about to start touring or gigging or even starting their first band? Any word of wisdom?
Take up accounting. It's this is a terrible way to live. I don't know, man. It's fun, but good God, it's hard living, and you get almost nothing back from it. If you can live without playing music, then don't attempt to make it your living, because I mean, you have to need it. It's just too hard.
Okay. Well, there you go, folks. You heard it from Steve. Don't start bands. Don't buy gear. Don't start bands.
I guess I'm speaking more from like the touring musician side of things, because that's, being in a band and having that as an outlet is awesome, and I would recommend that to anyone who has any desire to do it. But anything beyond that, if you're looking to make it your living and tour across this giant
the
Canadian
fame dream, the infamous fame dream.
It's not a good idea. Buy a lottery ticket.
Get struck by lightning. How about this? Why don't you tell us about your last great revelation?
My last great revelation.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, these are few and far between.
The last one thing that dawned on you that you were just like, how did I not? Last great revelation.
Oh, that's a tough one, man. Nope.
Nothing.
Apparently, I'm not as cerebral as I thought I was. But revelations don't seem to come to me. I think it's because I already knew everything. I figure that's probably got to be it. Revelations are for those who already didn't know something, and that's clearly not me.
Well, I'm gonna totally freestyle here, which I've not done in any of the other interviews. So I'm going to ask you whatever question that comes to my mind then.
All right.
Iron Maiden or Burton Cummings?
That's a tough one, and maybe for different reasons than most. I truly do not care for either of those things. So this really is a lesser of two evils.
Wow.
And I think I'm gonna have to go with Iron Maiden on this one, just simply because of Burton Cummings' goddamn smug little radio show he has these days.
He has a radio show? I didn't even know that.
Oh no! You know what? I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Randy Bachman.
Oh no. Yeah,
Burton Cummings. Yeah, Burton Cummings. I'll take Burton Cummings. He's all right. He's a
great voice.
He's got a great voice.
Great storytelling, too.
Yeah, and that's a solid mustache.
He's still rocking that thing, too.
Yeah, no, man. It's when you get it right, you don't turn your back on it.
All right. How about this? Which came first, the chicken or the egg?
Ooh, the chicken or the egg?
That's meant to be like my hardest question of all this interview thing,
all
too.
Right. I think it comes down to this.
What is your theory?
All right.
You tell
Sebastian,
us.
I'm going to tell you my theory on this.
Blow our minds.
I think it comes down to what you believe.
Oh.
I'm not especially religious. So, I guess if one were to believe in evolution, then the egg has to have come first, because the egg
logical,
then came to a chicken. But if you believe in the story of creation, then God just simply created a chicken that then produced eggs. How's that, huh?
It's a very Spock-like answer. That cerebral. As we're knocking Becky's. I believe these are powdered blush foundation brushes.
Yeah, I guess that's the downside when we do this in a closet.
Literally.
Yeah.
Well, a very cerebral Spock-like response.
I try to live Spock-like.
So why don't we end this interview with this last question here? Star Wars or Star Trek? And why?
All right.
Be careful.
I know.
Thread lightly.
I guess I'm obligated to say Star Wars, and I say that just simply because it's what I got into as a kid. Like I saw those movies in the theater, and I was obsessed and collected all the toys and everything, and lost half of them in the sandbox. Yeah. So, I mean, I love Star Trek, and I've seen all the episodes of probably every series and so on, and it's great. But it doesn't move me the way that seeing Star Wars come across the screen with spilling all of the makeup supplies on the floor. But seeing Star Wars appear and hearing the opening music of a Star Wars film, that's Star Trek has never been able to do that for me.
Have you ever noticed how every single Star Wars movie starts in outer space?
That's a fact.
That is a fact.
Yes.
That was recently one of my own revelations.
Ah, there you go.
Because I did the trilogy, the 6 movies, and we have a visitor.
Hey, I know
That'd
this
be my little
fella.
dog, Chewy. Hey, buddy. Oh, he was away all weekend. Oh.
Oh no.
Who's that stranger?
Hello.
He's smelling the zoo on you.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't remember where I heard this, but I heard someone saying that don't you think Planet Trek would have been a better name than Star Trek? Because they didn't go to any stars.
Sure. But like, come on, Kirk making out with all these alien chicks. Like, how cool is that? Seriously.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Hey, I am not saying that one is good and the other's crap. That was not my argument here.
I'm not sure if anybody cut my shirt looking at the video, but yeah, there's a pre-discussion we had before the podcast here. So, well, I would really like to thank our honored guest today, Stephen Parkinson.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for coming and hang out with me, Chewy, the closet.
It's been an honor to spill all your girlfriend's makeup on the floor.
That's fine. She would also be honored. And you guys should check him out. Go see him play live. It's even better than listening to CD. Actually, as a matter of fact, go see him play live and then buy a CD.
Ah, there you are.